Oh my gosh, hi besties. Welcome to Vlogmas Day 6. I've actually missed hanging out with you guys all day today, but I had such a productive Monday. I got Vlogmas Day 5 put up. I finally shared on Instagram that I'm doing Vlogmas, so we are in it to win it. We are in it to win it. I mentioned this yesterday, but today I am going to dedicate today's Vlogmas to making dinner. I'm out of breath. I don't know why I'm out of breath. Okay, let me try to say that again without losing my breath. I'm going to make dinner tonight for myself and 3 of my closest friends. We get together pretty much every Monday night and watch a show together. So this started, I don't even know how long ago. We'll have to check in with them tonight, but we first started by watching Wheel of Time on Amazon. One of our friends has read, I'm pretty sure, the entire book series. They came out with a show for it. It's very much Game of Thrones-esque, you know, kind of those types of vibes. Such a good show. But when it was over, we didn't want to stop hanging out once a week, and we each take turns making dinner. So I had only seen the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones, and I mentioned well, what if we watch Game of Thrones? And they had all already seen it all the way through, but they were games. So we watched the entire, is it 7 or 8 seasons of Game of Thrones together. And there were so many times where I was screaming, standing up on the couch, just losing my gosh darn mind. And they all knew what was coming, but it was so good. And now we're watching The House of the Dragon, and we have the last 2 episodes tonight. So I don't know what we're gonna watch after this, but I'm sure we'll decide tonight. I'm gonna take you with me. But first we have to make dinner. So it's my turn to make dinner. I'm going to make, let me find it. It's like a sweet sesame sauce. Let me start over. We're gonna make an Asian inspired chicken and rice bowl. I'm gonna make a homemade a sesame garlic honey sauce, and then I'm going to cook some veggies with it. So I'm just gonna honestly start by baking some chicken. Okay, so I preheated the oven and I'm gonna get the chicken ready. I'm just gonna bake it, and then after I bake it, I'm gonna dice it and then toss it in the sauce. So actually, let's start with the rice so that can get going. Okay, I'm just winging amounts. Honestly, I wing it a lot when I cook. I'm just gonna hope for the best. I think I'm just gonna do regular white rice instead of fried rice. Okay, so I need to turn that on. Okay. Trying to get myself organized, you know? 100 questions to get to know me. So the first one I'm gonna choose is, what is your biggest fear? And I'm gonna do what is my irrational fear? Because I think it's funny. I have always had an irrational fear of big things in the water. And what I mean by that is the size of a whale in comparison to the size of the ocean in which it lives in freaks me the fuck out. A huge ass ship, and the way it just is buoyant, is that even the word, enough to float on the water, freaks me out. And on the flip side of this, I love water. Specifically the ocean. I mean, I love lakes and really any body of water, but I tell you what, I hate big things in the water. Icebergs, they make me want to vomit thinking about it. Pretty much any big water animal, and not because I'm scared it's gonna eat me, which yeah, I am a little scared it's gonna eat me, but I just I don't know, have always hated whales specifically, but and glaciers. But big water things. What is your favorite game or sport to watch and play? So I've talked about this before, I think on my Instagram, but I played college softball, but it is surprisingly not my favorite sport to play. I actually prefer to play volleyball. I played in high school, and then I played both indoor and sand volleyball when I lived in Iowa. So before I moved to Kansas City. And then to watch, that's hard. I like to watch a lot of sports. I really like to watch football. I really like to watch basketball. Listen, I love the vibes of a baseball game. I hate sitting through an entire baseball game. I actually really like to watch soccer. I like to watch volleyball. Those are all top of mind. What motivates you to work hard? I like really nice things and have a very specific vision for what I want my life to look like. That's what motivates me to work hard. Okay, brief intermission on the questions. So I think I mentioned this yesterday or a couple days ago. I don't remember. Saturday when I went grocery shopping. But I bought a big thing of chicken so I could freeze a couple because we're trying to eat more protein in this house. So yeah, I'm making 4 chicken breasts. There are 4 of us, and then they're pretty big. And then I'm freezing 2, and we'll eat them soon. The rice is now cooking. Still waiting for the oven to preheat, but I'll walk you through what I'm gonna put on the chicken to give us some flavor. So I think this is gonna be good. I usually like push the limit, and I'm like walking over to my friend's apartment right as we say we're going to be eating, so we'll see how I make it tonight. Also, I just feel like you would appreciate this. For an apartment, I have tons of storage. So storage up there, this is like pantry storage, which I'm gonna show you in a second. That has all my coffee stuff in it. So coffee mugs, protein, travel coffee mugs. These 2, I literally have baggies because I have so much storage. All of my plates, bowls, I have tons of vases from flowers. My wine, I can't even think of the name of it. Oh, that was loud. And then this is all of my glasses, but you guys, I don't even use all of the space that I have. Because then I also have like cleaning supplies, all of my pots and pans, my juicer, my blender, and then over here I have more. Like, I have so much room, but let me show you. So here is like, I would say the main part of the pantry that I use, but these are all of my spices. I ran out of these, so I don't have enough for all of my spices. I also have alcohol in this one. But I think for the chicken, I'm going to do garlic powder. I think we're gonna do regular salt and pepper. Oh, this is tough. For sure, paprika. Honestly, maybe a little, no. You guys, I honestly don't even know what I'm doing well enough to be doing this, but maybe some cumin. Okay. I just like think some of my organization girlies and guys would really appreciate what that looked like, you know? I actually decided I'm going to answer some questions. I did a Q&A on my stories today, and I might as well just answer some questions I didn't get the chance to answer. Do I have a 9 to 5? I do. I have worked in corporate marketing for 7 years now, 8 years. I started out as a communications assistant. And in that role, I did a ton of social media. I learned about like email marketing, honestly brand development, direct mail marketing, but I was very much in like a entry-level job. And then after that, I went and I worked at a marketing agency where I did copywriting. So I was on the creative team and I worked for an agency. So I worked with tons of different brands at once. And that's, I think I started, you know, I started writing a lot in my first job, but this job obviously took me into a more serious path with corporate writing anyways. I'd always loved writing. And then, so I was doing marketing for anyone that's not familiar with like the corporate world. I wasn't just like writing for funsies. I was writing very specific like direct mail and email and social communications, also SEO content creation for websites at this agency. And then from there, I dove into the nonprofit world where I went into a content strategist position. So this was still content creation, but I was working for one organization instead of multiple. And I did all of the content for that location of the organization. I did all social media, anything on the website. I did all of the blog posts, any marketing materials that were sent out on behalf of the brand. I wrote, but then I was also like part of a strategy team that was like developing plans and growth for the brand. I also wrote scripts for speeches for the CEO of the company. I created scripts for videos that we did for campaigns. And then from there, I went into the job that I currently have. I am the manager of the creative services team and the brand strategy. So I oversee all of the creative development for the organization in terms of content and design, but then I also implement and develop strategy for the brand. Kind of aligns with what I do here, but a little bit different. And yeah, that was a long-winded answer, but now you know the background of my professional life. Let's see what other questions we have. How is navigating your sexuality going? I hope you feel safe to explore it. Oh my God, that is so sweet. It's actually going really well. Let me put this chicken in and then I'll talk more about it. So for anybody who doesn't know, I dated men growing up and through most of college, but then I realized more or less it was the beginning of my senior year of college that I was attracted to women. So I came out as a lesbian that fall. I know, Bubba. And so that was the fall of 2014. I went on to exclusively date women until this year. At the beginning of 2022, I realized I had feelings for one guy specifically, and had kind of a quarter-life crisis. And so now I identify as pansexual, which really what that means is I'm attracted to personality, because when I tell you that the men and women I'm attracted to have the same personality, I'm not even kidding. But I've spent a lot of this year dating men, which has been wild. And I'm not really looking for, you know, one or the other. More or less just like going with the flow of life and you know, I'm open to dating, but I'm definitely dating like seriously now. I've spent the last 2 years kind of being wishy-washy and, you know, not seriously dating around, but I am over that, and so I'm dating like for real now. So that's kind of weird with the move because, you know, I am definitely just like a very flirty person and I love getting to know people. So like when me and my friends are out, it's hard not to flirt or, you know, seek interest in somebody. And that's not to say that I wouldn't consider, you know, dating somebody before I moved. It just makes things more difficult. I think anyways, especially on such a short time frame. But we will see what happens. You know, I still am young and I'm chasing a career right now, so that's where most, if not all, of my attention is at. I'm very single, that's for sure. But whatever. Tips on elevating a very basic, comfy style, like jeans, solid color tees, to be more unique. So I would say if that is where your comfort zone is like very basic, the easiest way to start elevating your style is to add layers. That's like my favorite way to elevate a style, especially this time of year. It's really easy to do. So getting jackets that are on trend but won't go out of style, so a good leather jacket. Sherpa has been in and I don't think it's gonna go anywhere for a while. Like a jean jacket in the fall. Vests are huge. That's one way to elevate a style. I think another easy way to do so is to add accessories. So whether it's, you know, earrings, like statement earrings, and I wouldn't even say these are like overly statement earrings, but these are pretty simple hoops, right? But they are more elevated than just like a stud or a small hoop. This takes my sweatshirt outfit and makes it a little bit more elevated. Also, just like carrying a purse or something of that nature. I also think a fun way to spice up outfits is with shoes. So, you know, again, similar to the jackets, looking up trends of shoes that, you know, are a step outside of your comfort zone maybe, but are also still chic and classic. I'm thinking like, instead of like a white pair of tennis shoes, look for like a pair of Vans that are dual color, a pair of New Balances. I think those are some really simple ways to elevate your style before branching out into, you know, other types of styles. That being said though, I think like you cannot go wrong with a classic style anything. Blazers are a good jacket to wear. Mixing and matching like casual and cute, so like a hoodie with a blazer or like a t-shirt under a blazer, putting a like solid color sweater over your shoulders when you have like a denim jacket on. I've done that a couple times. It just like takes a basic outfit to the next level. I have a bad feeling I'm gonna run out of time. I gotta pick up the pace. So I'm starting to cut the peppers now. I'm cooking. That means I have to turn the chicken. Okay, I'm sauteing garlic and onion right now, and then I'm going to add the peppers to the mix. Because this is like a bowl type situation, I'm not cutting the peppers very small. I am so excited for the end. Well, sad, but also excited for the end of House of Dragon tonight. And will I probably cry? Yeah, I cried at the end of Game of Thrones, so I feel like there's a chance I'll cry at this too. So peppers, after these are done, I'm going to heat up the broccoli to soften it up a little bit. And then I'm going to throw that in the air fryer, let it crisp up, and then I'm going to make the sauce. By that time, the chicken should be done and ready to be tossed in the sauce. Ugh, ew, I hate the seeds in a pepper. Like, I avoid them at all costs because they freak me out. I don't know why. Now that I've forced myself into vlogging literally every day, I love it so much. I am such a extroverted introvert, and so there are times where I want to be social but also don't want to be around people at the same time. And I feel like when I talk to you guys, it helps me feel like I am hanging out with somebody. Also, it keeps me very present. Like, all I'm focusing on is exactly the task I'm doing and sharing with you. And you all know one of my goals this year is just to be more present. So thank you for helping me. Maybe I should like do something special for my loyal YouTube family. Maybe you guys should be the first ones to find out where I'm moving. I think that's fair. Although there are a couple people on my Instagram that are invested, but maybe you guys are followers on here too. Okay, these beautiful peppers are done. I'm gonna add them to the mix. Okay, things are going well. I need to make this sauce though. 3/4 cup of honey. So this is a garlic sesame, let me tell you, honey sesame sauce that I'm making. Honestly, I just wing it usually, but I don't know that I'd be able to eyeball 3/4 cup. Ooh, this honey looks so good. Let's taste it. It is good. Okay, I'm just gonna pour it out of this because 3/4 cup. This is gonna be like the whole thing, which is fine. I don't really need it. Literally almost took the whole thing. 3/4 cup of soy sauce. I don't have soy sauce, but because most of us that I'm going to hang out with try to be gluten-free, and one is gluten-free, like for real. And so we use tamari. Easy substitute. It says a 1/2 cup of ketchup, but I don't really trust that, and I feel like that's too much ketchup, so I'm just gonna use whatever ketchup I have left. 1/2 cup of rice wine vinegar. It says 1/2 cup of brown sugar, but I simply refuse. So we're just gonna do a couple tablespoons. A teaspoon of sesame oil and a tablespoon of cornstarch. I thought garlic was in here. I almost got garlic too. Okay, so I'm gonna whisk this together, cut my chicken. I'm gonna heat up a pan and just toss it all together. And then by that time, it'll be time to head over there. I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. Okay.
Is it going?
Yeah, it's going.
My rating is 10 out of 10. Stop eating it.
On my dinner. We really went in. This is Caleb's pretty much. There's like no chicken left. There's enough for maybe a couple lunches. Sydney's making us homemade popcorn.
A lot of stress.
She got this whirly pop for Christmas. When do you start spinning it? I've never watched you make it. I just usually sit over there.
You're the true artist.
Yeah, I've never watched you actually do any of this.
That's like really full. I should have transferred some of that to the book.
I just crave it.
And then garlic salt. It usually doesn't come out that fast.
Yeah, you just swirl. She's good at it.